Hello everyone, I'm Jimson Lee for speedendurance.com, and today's video is how to break 50 seconds for the 400 meters. Before I begin, a quick blurb on my blog. It's the famous book I never wrote, has about 1,400 articles, and it's being quoted and printed in Canada's Globe and Mail as well as ESPN magazine. The famous 400 meter calculator, which we all know, is you take your best 200 meter season best doubled and add 4 seconds. So if your season best is 23 seconds, doubled plus 4 makes 50 seconds. When you run this race, your splits will be about 24 with blocks and then 26 for the second half of the 200 with a running start, and that should give you 50 seconds for the 400 meters. Give or take 0.1 or 0.2 seconds. It all comes down to the obvious, speed and speed reserve. The faster your 200 meters, the faster your 400 meters. And working downwards, your faster 200 is based on your 100 meter time, and your 100 meter time is based on your fastest 60, and your fastest 60 is your fastest 30. So it makes sense that the faster you are, the faster your 400. Now, it's pretty rare I get a guy who comes out and can run 25 and 25, like a negative split for the 400, and then finish like all out wiped out. If that happens, he actually can run faster. Now, there are a few things about track, and I call them performance indicators. What that means is that you do a certain workout, whether it's a 200 meters, and from there we extrapolate your potential to run a time. Now, the best way to run a 400 is to run a 400, time yourself, and that's it. But you can do 200s. But I like doing 150s and 300 meters. And I also take this from the famous Jamaican coaches like Stephen Francis and Glenn Mills, because in Jamaica, there are 2 times you have to have. It's like your 40-yard dash in American football. In Jamaica, it's your 150 and your 300 meter time. And the workout that I'm proposing as a performance indicator to break 50 seconds is 3 times 150 on the fly with full recovery anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes. Now, when I mean the fly times, what I'm saying is that you start 10 meters back or 15 meters back, you get a running start and start the watch when you hit 150 and you finish at the finish line. Now, this is pretty taxing workout, and as you get closer to your race season, you may want to cut that down to 2 sets of 150, or you can do 150, 150, 100, or 150, 120, 100, or any kind of combination. But the point of this video is to prove how the 150 meters is a great performance indicator to break 50 seconds for the 400 meters. Okay, how fast must you do this workout in? Well, I say, and I'll explain later in a chart, that you have to do these 150s on an average of 16.5 seconds. 16.6, 16.4, that's fine. If you're doing it in 18 seconds or 17, you're not going to break 50. You got to get your 150 time down to 16.5, which means your 100 meter time must go down, which means your 60 meter time goes down. Now, just to depress the hell out of you, Usain Bolt's 150 meter world record was 14.35, and I calculate his fly time for that same distance at 13.35. So you're doing this workout about 3 seconds slower than the fastest man on this planet, next to Johan Blake. And again, I'm stressing hand times because if you have a stopwatch, I don't trust any digit past the 10th of a second. Now, this is my prediction, and I'm using this chart to show that 16.5 is your magic number that you got to run for 150 to break 50 seconds. Now, you can use Excel and extrapolate this to 17, 18, 20 seconds for younger athletes or master athletes. I chose this number because on the bottom in the light pink color, those are the times that I ran, and I'll go through them right now. On the bottom bar, When I ran 15.6, I was actually training for 200 meters as a specialist, and my season best that year was 21.98. It's not 19 point, but that's what I ran, and those are my times. I did 15.6, 15.5, 15.7 as a workout leading up to that season's best. A year later, once I established some decent speed, I didn't get as fast because I was doing a lot of strength work. I was running long to short, and my fastest time was only 15.8. And that year, my season's best was 22.36 for 200 and 48.36 for the 400. And it's pretty close. You can see in that bar that based on a 15.8 150 time, my 2 and 4 times were pretty accurate based on this performance. Now, there's a lot of assumptions here that training, a lot of speed endurance work, a lot of strength work, injury-free. But the point I'm trying to make here is that if you got guys running 17.5, there's no way in hell you're going to break 50 seconds. If you do, email me, spam me, flame me, I don't care. But you just have to have the natural speed to get 150 times decent to break 50. Now this picture is my real watch that I used up until last year, and it's a little gadget that goes on your watch like a photo timer for cameras, and you start the watch, you start running 10, 15 meters into the race or your time trial, and you click at the start, and you click at the finish, then you rush back, get a piece of paper and subtract your times, and then you get your 15.6, 15.8 times. If you have a coach, great, but often I trained alone because I had to work during the day, and this is how it was. Now, today, I have a much better system that I use personally. It's called Freelap, and it's a fully automatic time system that you wear on your chest, not on your hand, and you set up these TX Junior transmitters at the 150 mark and the finish line, and you stand back 10 meters, you click on the watch, you start running, rolling start, 3-point start, whatever, and the transmitters will pick up your splits. And as soon as you cross the line, you just check your watch, you go, oh wow, I ran 15.6, great. Go get some rest, 15 minutes, take 20 if you have to, 2 more sets, rinse and repeat. And that's it for how to break 50 seconds for the 400 meters. For speedendurance.com, I'm Jimson Lee.